have fun nowadays, it could be anywhere. You could go to a backyard cookout and play some of the little. We got a whole list of names for it, but we could play some cornhole for about an hour and a half, have a tournament. You know what I'm saying? And have fun. You can go and throw the football and have fun. You could sit on your phone at home for hours and have fun. You could be at a bus stop waiting on the bus on your phone and not mad at you that you got to wait on the bus for so long because you playing the game on your phone. So I want us to focus on the fun part of the fun station, because wherever you park this thing at is the station. But we want to focus on fun right now. So what I want to do is I want to start with your phones. Let's get your phones. Let's look at what you would do or how you could have fun or create a fun station on your phone. So let us, where my board at? Hold up. Hold on, I ain't got my noteboard. Oh man, I can't think of where my dry erase board is at. It should be right here with all my stuff, and it's not. Y'all give me 1 second. Enjoy one of these old episodes while I find it. Still maxing out. All right, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Tech Tuesdays. This is DGTA TV. All right, y'all. Peace.
You just want to step out of it, to step out of the whole race, the whole business. The monstrosity of being alive overwhelms you.
We cannot deny the forces that once.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man.
My name is Mel.
Are you for sure? Do you know me? All right. So, welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. I had to say it again. We are in here for another Healthy Mental Thursday. Let me get all this stuff cleared off my screen. Doing background work in the background. Don't worry. Listen, you make it to where you want to be, everything changes. So don't mind my smile. You just listen to the message I'm about to give you today on Healthy Mental Thursday. All right. Let me get this motivation in here for y'all. Motivation to love. 'Cause if you want somebody to love, if you need somebody to love, you better find somebody to love. Alright. Hold on, let me plug up. I ain't even got the audio plugged up. Give me a second. There it is. Y'all heard me. If you want somebody to love.
This is base 44.
Alright, let's go.
It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it?
Why is it still playing? It's computer. Oh, snap. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. I was doing some maintenance in here. There you
Get
go.
on with your life. Move so you can grow. So you can get on with your life. It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do now, Les? But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, If you want to begin to really enjoy a happy, successful, healthy life, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will. So as you're in the process of reinventing your life, write a description of the kind of person that you want to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are the things that you must overcome? What qualities about your personality you know that you're going to have to change, because those particular characteristics are liabilities to you? What are your assets? What are your strong points? Look at and evaluating yourself to make that determination. Other thing is that in order to get out of a rut, we need some coaching. Find some trusted critics. People that you know care about you and love you.
Yes, sir.
There's some things that keeps us from growing and getting out of ruts. Number one, we identify with feedback. We take it personal when someone wants to give us some feedback on where we are falling short and tell us about our blind spots. We want to have everything being positive about us. We're not perfect. It hurts. I have a friend who's a trusted critic. I don't like him, but I love him. He doesn't tell me the things I want to hear. He tells me what I need to hear so I can grow. It hurts. It hurts when he put me on the hot seat. I can't stand it. But that's the only way that I can grow. And I'm glad that he loves me enough to risk our friendship to tell me what I need to hear.
In there like swimwear.
Not what I want to hear.
Guy.
High performers are not dissatisfied strivers. They're not. They're happy. High performers are happier than their peers. We all believe that to get the top, it's going to be lonely at the top, and we all believe you have to grind and kill yourself to get there. Yeah. And that's completely wrong, and the data proves it worldwide, which is, I think, just overcoming a lot of people's biases about how you work today, because right now, especially today, like, you know, grind on social media is so popular.
Or hustle.
Or hustle. And by the way, none of the top 15% of high performers worldwide identify with those words. They literally don't. We asked them, we did a whole keyword analysis. Yep. This was actually pretty cool. And high performers explicitly say, these are the three driving feelings. If we said there was a high performance state, it's driven from these three things. Number one, full engagement.
Okay.
Number two, joy.
Yes.
And number three, confidence.
Yes, sir.
That's what they relate with, okay? That's where it's coming from. It's
Yes,
a
sir.
joyous journey, not a
Yes, sir.
dissatisfied one.
Yes,
And
sir.
I had this conversation in the book because I kind of maybe frame it this way. Each of these chapters opens with a vignette of somebody I worked with or a situation that I was in that demonstrated high performance. In this particular situation, I'm walking on stage, thousands of people, after a very famous musician was out there and was telling the audience that that person's secret to success, remember, thousands of people, their secret to that person, their whole speech, their secret to success was never settle.
Students
Come
with
on,
ADHD
man.
save 10
Marshall.
hours studying with this Chrome extension.
But they put it right there in the
all
right
means.
moment, though.
Go ahead.
They put it right there at the right moment. Never settle. Listen, I consider myself to be one of those high performers that just keeps on pushing towards what I want in my life. And I encourage anybody to do that. But if it's not for everybody, and if you find out it's not for you, and you find that you don't want to do the work, when you do want to do the work, get back out there, get back into the joyous journey of your life. All right, don't shy away from it. Hey, what's happening? Zanita 67. We got Zanita 67 and Beat Beast in the building with me right now. Appreciate y'all for joining me on today's Healthy Mental Thursday. All right, so today, hold on, I want to drop some emotes in the chat because I'm happy. All right, cool. So today, let me look at what our topic was for today. Not perfect. Today we are not perfect. We ain't even well. All right. We trying to be healthy, trying to be well, and that's a journey in itself. So, discovering that we are not perfect like they just said, ironically, in our motivation. I don't feel like shouting no more. I feel like I'm screaming. But not being perfect, excuse me, just like I said, they said in our motivation, allows us to critique, tweak, and then fix ourselves. All right? So that's why I chose the topic for today. Let's see what's up. All right. Let's type this in on Google. Let's do a Google search on this one. See how this go. Were we made perfect? Let's see what they got. What verses support the idea that Adam and Eve were blank? Ephesians 2:10, for we are God's workmanship created in blank. Was God's original creation perfect? Blank. Well, question mark after that. All right. That seems to be a good question then. In Jesus we are made perfect not by our words, but by his. How was the perfect Christ perfected? Through suffering. All right. If God is perfect, why did he create an imperfect world with, okay, ... All right, those just some titles of things that's out there and what people are chatting about already on the topic. But you to think like this, because you got to, like I just said, if we were already made perfect in the strict sense, we ain't going into all them definitions about it. If we were made perfect, what would there be to do? What would we do? Now, that's a clue right there to where it is we're living, what it is we're doing, and where it is we're trying to go to. For you believers out there. I'm going to say that again. So, just in a different way. So, if we were made perfect, what would we be here doing? If every day's a sunny day, what's a sunny day? You feel me? What I'm saying to you is a clue to what it is we're doing here, where it is that we're going to, and honestly, what your total objective should be on a day-to-day basis. Now, you got two options the way I'm seeing it as defined just now here on Expansion Pack. You can sow the seed of destruction. Now, we ain't beating them down just yet. Just follow me now, because we ain't doing the whole good, bad, left, right thing. All right? Or you can sow the seed of creation. Now, I feel like we done dug something out just then. If you listening to the sound of my voice and within the sound of my voice, and you may or may not go to some holy place, some holy church, temple, read a holy book, you might just be listening to me. But I feel we just dug something out there. Let me see. Hold up. I don't use my emotes. I usually leave the emotes out there for people that want to use them. But I feel we just dug something out there. We found our little route on where we gonna go with this. Okay? So, dang, that's why I keep my chapstick. Anyway, on a daily basis, you're the gardener. I got a suggestion for y'all out there. It's some games out there that I actually like. One of them, I ain't never got to play it for real. But when I get a chance, I'm gonna play it. It's called Harvest Moon. If you can see this, what I'm typing in. We're gonna watch a small video real quick. Check this out.
You're never gonna guess what happened. Dex put a hit on me. I took
Is this
it forward.
number 2?
I died. I came back. All good until I realized I had a time bomb wedged in my brain.
Right. I'm sorry, y'all. I like that game.
Rated E for everyone.
All right, check this out. This ain't what I expected it to look like. I gotta show y'all the old one. Sorry to waste y'all time. So everybody day to day, what I was trying to say is a farmer. I got another example of some farm games that you can play, but every last person right now is a farmer. And you're sowing your own seeds of either destruction or creation for yourself every single day. Now, for me, I'll tell you on my perspective. I gotta settle into this one real quick. See if I can get a good explanation on this. So, for me, what I do is I put myself on a course, right? And before I was disciplined enough to recognize it, I was just all willy-nilly. I was everywhere. But gathering the right amount of time, the right amount of experience, and the right amount of observation of it, and the right amount of discipline to keep it all, to take the time to keep it all contained and look at it, I've acquired the ability to pick and choose what I want to do every single day. What I mean is, make good choices. Don't give that power and ability over to some secondhand thing. See that movement? Don't give that power and ability over to some secondhand thing. They made me do it. He made me. She made me. I made me. We. First, take the time to consider. And like my mama always say, make good choices. That's be hard, boy. Boy, I mean, like, gotta make that choice. It's easy because of the boundaries of my discipline. Easy. But it's difficult when there are so many different diverging variables that could break off in so many different ways that you be like, I don't want to do nothing. I probably am not going to do anything, as a matter of fact. That's too far. I ain't going there. I done boxed myself in. But it's a great box after coming from being all willy-nilly doing, just making choices anywhere like I can't get hurt or cannot have any consequences that befall me. All right? So, be a gardener is what I'm trying to do. And I ain't coming to y'all telling y'all I got it all figured out, but I'm gardening. And I'm reaping what I sow every time. Knock on wood, throw salt over the shoulder, snap, and get it off me. You know, pray. Lord, just ask that you watch over me. Amen. All of the above. Because when you're faced with this choice versus that choice, this situation came into your life, you trying to pay this, you trying to do that, but not trying to hurt nobody. But them getting crazy over there, you might have to hurt somebody. So if you want somebody to love, if you need... It's just a tough place that we're in without the realization I gave at the beginning. And that realization is you have the choice. Don't give that power away. Make the choice with the information that you got. But if y'all didn't hear me say it and you didn't read between the lines, heaven and hell, we are here. You can go there. You can actually, in my belief, and it's my strict opinion, partly create it for yourself, or at least, like we say to the kids, set yourself up for success by making can't say good, can't say bad, by sowing your seeds properly. I got you. By sowing your seeds properly, you gardener. You're a gardener. Yes, you are. You're a farmer. You're a gardener. You're everything you need to be. So let's see what's up. Gardening. Watch this title. Watch I type in gardening as told by the Bible. Let's see what they say about gardening. Let's see what my man's got. I know he got something good.
I'll be honest, my first therapy session did not go well, but it taught me something important. You don't get the best results.
Good morning, everybody. As I'm walking through the garden, I can't help but feel that I'm not alone out here. And I feel this way a lot. So I wanted to start a series where we talk about the Bible in a gardening way, in a gardening sense. So if you're interested, sit back, relax. So follow with me as we walk through our gardens and we talk about the Bible.
Let's see what he got.
Okay, so
Hey,
let me
that
give a
looks
little
fun.
bit about my background.
That Harvest Moon, yeah, you know
I'm
about
not a
it.
preacher. I do not have any degrees in theology. I'm the grandson of a preacher. I grew up in the church for pretty much my whole life. And there comes a time when you hear something in your head, in your mind, you feel a need to do something, to say something, to share something, that you decide it's time. And for me, being a gardener, I have always felt that there is something else, there's something more to just planting seeds, than to just harvesting crops, than to sharing all this on YouTube with everybody, that I wanted to do a deep dive into the Bible on this topic of gardening, because I always felt that there was just something so biblical about gardening. So I did some research.
Let's see what you got.
I want to share what I have found
Talk to
on
me.
the topic of the Bible and gardening. Why is gardening so important in the Bible? Why are so many stories or lessons that Jesus taught in a way that refers to gardening? Let's get into this. Okay, so I do have a question for you. How many times is the word garden used in the Bible?
Y'all know that answer? I do not know. I can go look it up, but I want to see what my man say.
Does anyone know? 52 times.
Dang.
How many times is the word gardening mentioned in the Bible? 12 times. Now I know what you're going to say right off the bat. Chad, that's really not a lot. It actually really is, if you really think about it. Garden or gardening, or references to the act of gardening, are just littered through the Bible. Why is that? Think about it. Why? Right? That has always been the question for me in my mind since I really started gardening, and especially over the last year or so, which we'll get into that here in a little while. Let's do a little bit of history on the word garden.
Okay.
Okay, in Aramaic, which was the language of Jesus' time, the word garden is this word right here. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I don't want to butcher it. That word was derived from the Hebrew word pardres, which I'm sure I just destroyed. Now the word Gethsemane is translated to oil press, which is also associated with garden. In Latin, the word garden is called hortus.
So Prince Garden, which in turn derived vulture and the garden. All right.
I'm sure I butchered that one. And that is a word that is a root word for a lot of other languages when it comes to the word garden.
Okay. Now I gotta get one piece of what you got. Right here.
Thinking to sharing his word, the word of God. How is gardening not just so important to the Bible, to the Word of God. I think they go hand in hand. I truly feel gardening and spreading the Word go hand in hand. Let me continue. For me, being in the garden is being in His presence, is feeling like you're not alone in the garden, right? I'm going to get more into that here shortly. And one other very important aspect to gardening that hits me really hard is the duality of gardening. Now, what do I mean by duality? In the biblical sense, you can't have good without evil. You can't have God without Satan. You can't have light without the darkness. You can't have angels without demons. The duality in gardening, you can't have good insects, the beneficials, without the pests, the harmful insects. You can't have a good crop without the chance of having a bad crop, a bad harvest. You can't have a drought without floods. Everything is a duality. And I love that because, again, gardening and the Bible are so hand in hand. Spreading the Word of God and gardening, just go together like peanut butter and jelly.
That's my miss. Look at that. Hey, so I remind you here on Expansion Pack, it's not all about me. It's about us. At the moment, I'm just the captain. And at any other moment, my mans can speak to us for a couple minutes. Y'all enjoy his words. But like, he brought it home for me. Now, I don't like to be political here on Expansion Pack. And what I mean is, my belief is my belief. Your belief is yours. But we all share, if you watch this show, and if you live on this planet, we all share a common belief that we want to be here in the best way possible. Unless, even the Addams family want to be here in the best way possible, even though they like what I would call creepy stuff. The creepy and the kooky, spooky. You know what I'm saying? We all want to be here in the best way that we want to be here. That's our common ground. And so we got that. That's our common ground, yeah, as we gardening out here. So within our with our common ground, where do we draw the line? Since we going down the gardening tip as a metaphor for the way we live our life. Now, I don't care what you do, how you doing. You making choices all day long. All day long. So we have that in common. All of us. You may be missing a left ear. Your cheekbone may be higher than mine. Your lips may be flat. But you making choices. You may be 6 foot. He may be 4. I may be 5'6". You may have 4 bedrooms. I may have none. But we all making choices. We have that common ground. And with that common ground, where do we draw our lines? How do we dig up that common ground? What seeds are we planting into that common ground? Because what I mean is, let me give you a good example of this. And I'm going to love this watching this back. Common ground, all right, between us are the choices that we make. You and I. Common ground. Ground in its exact term, literal ground that we walk on. We have the common ground of the fact we both make choices. Now, the way I choose to move on my common ground and work my common ground is by being destructive. Okay? My choices lead to, let me give you just the word destruction. My choices lead to destruction. Your choices lead to creation. on your common ground. Things are rising, things are moving, shaking, and whatever and so forth. Our common ground, no matter what is produced on it, is still the same. We're making choices. We could make a choice together to produce nothing with our common ground, which means there is no motion, no action, no seed sown. How does that look? But with our choices, you still making a choice. There's still an active process on choosing, because you have to actively choose not to engage. Maybe you could be a monk up on the hill meditating. That's your choice, but it's still a choice. So the act of deciding, choosing, having action is something you cannot detach yourself from. Now, we got that base common ground. Back to being a gardener and working that common ground. You little gardener out there, yes, you are. You're a farmer. You're a farmer. Are you making choices that are producing large amounts of creation for you and the people that you care about and love? Or are you sowing seeds that are making large amounts of destruction? Now, I'm going to tell you something that I didn't say yet. We're going to upgrade this topic into a little bit more soul food for you. You know, give you first dashes of it. You need both. You need both. There is back probably like 200 years ago, however many years ago, there's if y'all can hear, there's a donkey. Imagine what word I was going to say. There's a donkey strapped, yoked up. You know what I'm saying? Working that land, pulling that. You feel me? Pulling that. And that's destruction for the ground, the common ground. We're going to pull our metaphor, reel our metaphor back in just a little bit. You gotta destroy that common ground just a little bit in order to sow any seed. Even if the seed that you're sowing is able to grow by just being on the common ground or on the ground, it still needs to break up some of that ground in order to sprout, in order to flower, in order to grow and establish roots. Now, I hope me talking this metaphor to you and talking you through it in this way gives you some very, very great clarity or vision of something good for your day going forward. We 31 minutes in. We got just about 25 minutes left of, remember, this feeling is the feeling of possibility. We just call it, we're in a space right now where anything is possible. And limiting is just another form of controlling the flow. Being just open to anything that's possible is just another way of bringing you more possibility and giving you more options until you choose to narrow it down. So us being in this state of possibility, don't lose yourself in what I'm talking about. Let's start working it out, baby. Let's start taking thoughtful action as opposed to I just go out there and do anything. I want to this just came to mind. Let's get some breathing. Let's do some quiet little focused breathing for about 2 minutes, and then we'll focus breathing technique. Yeah, let's just do that for real quick. I'll tell you why I'm doing it. before we do it, and then we'll go on from there, because I think this is gonna be positive for us. So this 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Heart focus. Ironically, Beats 28. This for you. Heart focused music. I mean, heart focused breathing. So the reason that I'm gonna do this is because we have some basic resources that are given to us at this current moment in time. We ain't in no damn airlock. Personally, I mean, I'm in my room in a house on Earth, but I'm not in an airlock, and so I can do this. Put me anywhere other than where there's free air and we got limited supply, and it becomes vastly more valuable. All right? So, since we have it and it is feeding our entire system before you get up and eat, before you get up and take something, drink, before you go and feed your babies, you breathing. So let's take the time to just sit quietly and use that energy flow to channel or push us into our next little bit of talk.
Can you please just hear me out? No, all work management
none of
platforms
that.
are the same. Monday.com is the one you'll actually love to use. It lets you set up your workflows yourself. No admin, no long.
I ain't listening to none of that.
Energy and helps you be more resilient when you're. I want to share with you a really powerful and simple technique. Which
I want to do
the.
the. I want to actually do the technique. I don't want to hear you talk about it now.
Welcome. This technique is called heart-centered breath. It's advised by PYI's own Dr. Chris Walling, a soma psychologist and also a heart math certified trainer. Heart-centered breath is amazing because it modifies your heart rate variability. And this is important because heart rate variability in turn helps to manage and to stabilize your respiratory system, your immune system, and so much more. Research has shown that heart-centered breath starts to work after about 5 minutes. You can practice with me today and slowly build up to 5 minutes, 10 or more when you feel ready. Now come to sit. Nice long spine, comfortable seated position, and the feet nice and stable on the ground. Be sure that you're not holding on to any excess tension in your shoulders by giving them a few rolls. Allow your eyes to relax or for them to close entirely. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest, just there behind your breastbone, that place everyone in the world points to when they say, me. Begin to breathe slowly and deeply, visualizing that you are breathing into the center of your chest, your heart space. Keep all your attention here, breathing slowly in and out through your heart space. Visualizing oxygen and relaxation permeating your chest as you inhale, flowing through and around your heart. Beginning now to expand your exhale to a count of 5. Inhaling for 5. Continuing to breathe in and out for a count of 5. Feeling this ease and relaxation washing around your heart and lungs and throughout your body. Allow your mind to think of something or someone that gives you a feeling of appreciation and care. It could be a person, a pet, or your favorite vacation place. Feel that gratefulness again, that appreciation and care. Breathing it in for this soul or place. Visualize breathing in that positive
positive feeling right into your heart. And on the exhale, breathe out that feeling of appreciation and care. Breathing in appreciation and care, and breathing out that same gratefulness and care. Savoring this heart-centered feeling.
Continuing to practice for 5 minutes, keeping your mind on that feeling of care and appreciation, balancing your body and mind.
We breathe in and out thousands of times each day without thinking about it. But paying attention to our breathing in stressful moments can quiet the busyness of the mind and relax the body. This video will lead you in a type of breathing exercise called belly breathing. Belly breathing reduces the activity in the part of our brain.
Well, we done went to a whole nother video. I'm in the zone over here. I hope y'all enjoyed that. So, like I said, the reason that we did that is because, like she said, we breathe in and out thousands of times a day. And like I said, I probably feel like more than that. But, like I said, before you go feed yourself, before you get dressed, before you wash your face or your arm, you breathe. And so, that is the root of where all of your existence is coming from. And so if you can optimize that, make that the best that it can be just for a couple seconds, imagine how many other systems you're giving a boost to that's like, yo, we about to get out here and we got more energy, we got more. All right, now with that, let's just keep on boosting up and kind of getting ourselves to what a healthy mental feels like. Does this feel like a healthy mental? I feel like I'm a little bit excited. And that's not always good. You ever seen a dog? It's like, hey, chill, sit. You know? And that's not where you always want to be. You want to kind of be, let's see how we can approach this in the last 5 minutes, well, 10 minutes of the show today. How mood rings are made. This is gonna be fun. This is just something light for us to balance us out. All right. Color changing mood. Why? Hey man, I just want to see how they made. I don't care nothing about trying to sell them for try to make a play.
Introducing the only prescription hair regrowth gummy on the market, the Minoxidil Plus Biotin Gummy by Hers, formulated by dermatologists.
Y'all got everything.
A mood ring is a ring typically made of thermochromic elements, the colors of which change based on shifts in the temperature of the wearer's finger. Entrepreneurs from New York, Maris Ambatz and Josh Reynolds, came up with the first mood ring in 1975. These rings became an instant success in the 1970s, despite their somewhat extortionate pricing. Young women were smitten by the fact that these rings supposedly changed color to indicate their mood. The color change was actually a response to natural changes in temperature, but marketers cleverly associated this temperature change with the wearer's emotions. Despite the questionable accuracy of their mood detection, people were enchanted by the vibrant colors produced by these rings, and with advancements in the field of material science, the composition of mood rings has improved even further. In terms of design, a mood ring is sort of like a sandwich. The bottom layer is the ring itself, which is usually made of sterling silver, although other variations include plating it with gold. A strip of thermochromic liquid crystal is then glued to the ring. A protective casing in the form of plastic or glass is added over the liquid crystal. There are many natural and synthetic liquid crystals available, and their colors change with temperature shifts. Thus, the exact composition of a mood ring varies by manufacturer, but most rings contain liquid crystals made from organic polymers. While the color change cannot match a person's emotions with precision, it can reflect temperature changes caused by the body's physiological reaction to internal sentiments. For example, when you're worried, blood circulation is directed more towards the body's core organs, which decreases the temperature at the extremities of the body, including the fingers. When you're feeling normal or relaxed, your fingers will be warmer, as your blood circulation will also be normal. When you get excited or perform a physically intense exercise like jogging, the rate of blood flow surges, making your fingers warmer than usual. While the temperature of your fingers, and thus the color of the ring, may change in response to your emotions, the temperature of your finger changes for other reasons too, such as climate or your personal health.
Right.
You can expect a high-quality mood ring to last for a couple of years, but if taken care of, they can last for decades. However, very few mood rings from the 1970s are still found at antique shops in working condition. Most mood rings meet their unfortunate end when water seeps into the main crystal of the ring. Once water comes in contact with the crystal, the jewel becomes unresponsive and turns black. After that, it no longer changes its color or responds to temperature changes. Similarly, very high temperatures can also damage mood rings. Leaving your mood ring on the dashboard of a car or keeping it exposed to direct sunlight for long periods of time can lead to irreversible stone damage. Therefore, to keep a mood ring functioning for a long time, you must use it carefully. Avoid wearing it in rainy conditions or carrying it with you to the bathroom.
That was cool. I always wanted a mood ring, but I never believed that they worked. So I just kind of was like, nah. Yeah, I wanted to see something fun for us just for a second, because every day your choices affect your mood affects your choices. It's a never-ending cycle of gardening, you farmers. You guys are gardening all day long. We gardening with our choices, sowing the creation and destruction of our lives, like I already done said. But that right there was just fun for us to look at. What time is it? Yep, it's about that time. I'm gonna talk to y'all for a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna get on out of here for the day. But let's get some quotes in here real quick. Look at that wire right in front of the screen. See, we got quotes about life. Oh, we ain't finished this one yet. There you go.
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their teeth in a day process.
It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting.
We are already in the game, coach.
A superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When I despair, I remember that all through history the way of the truth and love have always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they can seem invincible. But in the end, they always fall. Think of it, always.
Y'all know y'all love these quotes.
The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Sometimes it takes a good fall to really know where you stand. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. Then success is sure. It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift of God, which is why we call it the present. I have not failed. I have found 10,000 ways that won't work. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened for us.
And it be right there the whole time. All right, last one, y'all.
And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it.
Thank you. All right, y'all. I hope that y'all mental is a little bit more healthy now that we have talked today. I appreciate the time that we spend together. I know I'm just talking to a camera and a screen, but if you drop in the chat, I'll be talking to you too. This has been another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Mann. Thank y'all for joining me for Healthy Mental Thursday. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow for Fun Fact Friday. Another action-packed Fun Fact Friday. Say that 5 times fast. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Enjoy one of these episodes. Don't just leave. Enjoy one of the old episodes as I'm leaving and fading out. You never know. You know, like the Marvel movies, when it be going off after the credits roll, it always be something else that happen. You never know. I might come back on and start dancing or rapping. Or might be doing a backflip. I ain't gonna do no backflip. It's too small in there. But anyway, this is DGTA TV. Let me say it again. This is DGTA TV. All right, y'all. Peace.
Almost 30, no children, no real responsibilities but myself, and because I had already lived 20 plus years a certain way, I'm just genuinely curious of what a new life where I'm genuinely paid for being authentic will bring me.
Look at that commercial come up on. They know when to put a commercial on you, boy. They know when to put a commercial on you. Hey.
And the curiosity is also what keeps me going. It keeps me consistent. Are you truly dissatisfied with where you are? Are you truly bored? Because when you're bored and you have the energy to do something different, nothing stands in your way of that. But to move forward, I'm still in the journey of trying to make things happen for me. But when it does work out, I will definitely let you know. And notice that I said when and not if, because I don't have room in my mind for doubt because I'm consistent. Sometimes thoughts of doubt come within the mind, but they don't stay there long because they don't feel welcome up there. There's just not enough room for them to exist if I'm constantly creating and I'm constantly doing things. There's things that I tweak. There's things in ways that I try to make things better, but I never stop myself from the doing. Visualize yourself at the end of each task being one step closer to achieving your goals. And notice how different the conversations you're having with yourself become. I had to.
All right, y'all. We're going to stop right there. We're going to come back to, we're going to be consistent, and we're going to come back to this same video next week and keep on pushing. And I think it would be nice for us to kind of carve out a path for ourselves on Wednesdays. So instead of constantly being lost on Wednesdays and trying to find our way on Wednesdays, we are finding our way on Wednesdays. So finding your way Wednesday. Not find your way. We're gonna tweak that. Finding your way Wednesday. And the reason is because we are getting, with our persistence and with our being consistent, we carving out. You know what I'm saying? We etching it out. Let me etch that out. And in order to come up with your final piece of artistry or piece of artwork, you gotta start with the draft. You gotta draft and you gotta draft. You gotta carve. You gotta etch. You gotta break that groove in, so to speak. You gotta make a groove, so to speak, in order to get that final output. All right, so now let's keep on going. So for me, let me just say briefly, for me, let me get closer to my mic, turn my mic up a little bit. For me, being persistent looks ugly. It just looked ugly to me. And what I mean is, when you painting, when you getting your hair twisted, or when you are making a song, writing song lyrics, making music, it get to a point where it's like, man, this is not what I want it to be. From growing your hair out, you know how it is. You growing your hair out, be like, oh, you look a little rough. You might need to get it tightened up. I don't want to go through that phase. I don't know if you make music, but if you making music or you writing that song, you probably done crumpled the paper up. You know, on 5 hard beats, until we work it out together. I believe in you, and me. The rainbow here. Maybe thought I was gonna stop, huh? Hard to see. We gotta hang on to this dream. Don't let go. No matter